I understand that when you went home this night, or that night, that you were very, very concerned about signing the affidavit for fear of repercussions that this system might do to you. Is that true?
Yes.
Why?
Because, she just, decided she can do her own thing. So who's going to stand up behind me? If you get in there, you don't even have any rules to follow. They're making up their own. We can't even make them.
Okay. Dan, now what was she like that first night when she came home? And I'm asking for the truth here.
She was devastated, in my opinion, and I told her this, that I was concerned that she was headed for a nervous breakdown.
Okay.
Because she was like a zombie. She couldn't even focus.
And was she crying a lot?
She couldn't even think how to prepare meals for the family. She was just...
Yeah, that rocked her to the core.
Yeah.
And how did it affect you, that seeing your wife in this position?
It's horrible because we're supposed to be in a free country. And I understand now that we're not. Because as far as I'm concerned, what Judge Heck did, she committed treason.
If you ever saw Judge Heck on the street and she wasn't wearing that robe, what do you think? Do you have a feeling that you might want to discuss this case with her? Or that you were scared of her that much for fear that at some point in time that she may do the same thing to you?
Yeah, probably fearful that she would do the same thing to me.
Absolutely.
Jim, so where are we going with this system?
Well,
and they
welcome
call,
to indentured servitude.
Yeah, Jim, but they call
like
people
slaves.
like you and people like me terrorists.
Yeah.
Okay? And people, they write us up in the newspaper every day that if Paletta wins a congressional seat, he will abolish Social Security. This man here is a terrorist. Now, I ask you all, who are the real terrorists in this country today? Dan, who do you think?
The people that don't follow their own rules that they set.
Kevin?
Yeah, I agree to that.
Jody?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Jim? My thoughts were this. These people can only hold on to this farm, not based upon what they can do or how hard they work, but it's based upon whether the corrupt bankers will allow sufficient supply of money for these people to hold on to their farm. That's not what this country is about. If you're going to succeed, that success should be based upon the amount of work that you people do. It depends on how smart you are as far as whether you want to raise cows or whatever it is. How hard do you work? How many hours between your truck driving and the farming?
Between 14 and 16.
Yeah, Jody, what do you do here on the farm that besides raise 3 kids and cook and clean house?
Book work.
Okay.
And everyday things. We homeschool.
So who does that? Do both of you or?
I do.
You do. So now that you homeschool your kids, that you cook at least 3 or 4 meals a day, that who does all the clothes here?
Me.
Okay, so you do it all, and you do all this now for the betterment of your kids and for society, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how is society and how is your government really treating you, Dan?
Unfair. They're not holding up to what they said they were going to do with as far as the Constitution. Like we said earlier, we see who the terrorists are.
Right.
We're in a concentration camp. We just haven't realized it yet.
Well, Dan, that's very, very good, and I couldn't agree with you more. And you have a milk issue going on here.
What's the FDA trying to do?
Well, it's the state, Pennsylvania Department of Ag, PDA.
Okay.
They feel that the milk sanitation law applies to everybody. The milk sanitation law is a corporate law. I am a small, private, family farm.
Yes.
That is not defined as a corporation. PDA has not understood that yet.
They don't want you selling raw milk. Pretty much.
Yeah,
Basically.
they
Now-
want me under their jurisdiction. We actually leased our herd to our customers, so the customers are part owner.
They part owner of the cows, and they come and get their own milk. And
Yep, they can come and then.
it just seems it would be easier,
Well-
especially on an administrative end, to just have a label you stick on there, not for human consumption.
Well, yeah, but we feel that would be lying, because it is for human consumption. And it's a free country, we shouldn't have to lie. We literally have people from, I'm certain it's from the Department of Ag, sitting out on the road watching us with binoculars as we work. We talked to Mike Fulmer, he's a senator, and Sam Rohr.
Yeah. He's a
And-
legislator. So.
Yep. And they both say that they both have apologized to us for what their co-workers are doing to us, because they said they're out of line. We get surveys from the USDA on our milk, which we're private. We're not shipping milk to any dairy. What we do here is our business. It's, and it's a control issue is what it is. They want control over what we do, what we eat, what we drink.
Dan, let me ask you this. You mentioned the word you want to be free. And if I told you this, that this country today that has more registrations and licenses than I believe China and Russia do combined, would you be surprised?
No. Jody and I have been doing paperwork on truck regulation for the past 11 years. In July, you're supposed to get a separate highway road use tax. It's a heavy road use tax for truckers. And
That's for American truckers, not the Mexican ones we got running our roads.
most likely.
Yeah.
And that totals somewhere around $600 a year. 2 times now where we didn't even get the bill for this highway road use tax. I called the notary and I said, hey, I didn't get this, what do I do? Go on the IRS website and print your own bill. I said, excuse me? I owe $600 and you tell me I have to print my own bill? They said, if you want to register your truck come May, go online and print the thing, send them the check, and we have done that twice. And the deal is you get a stub back with the VIN number of the truck and the amount you paid, the amount that was due, and then they're supposed to stamp it paid at the IRS office. Twice it's come back, not stamped paid. So I got to call the bank and get a copy of my check because we don't get copies of our checks back or canceled checks back anymore. So we got to jump through that hoop to get that. And then I got to drive to the IRS building and sit in line to my turn to get this stamped. And I just went through this recently, and the lady says, oh, well, that was from the year before. You still owe this. And I said, excuse me, that's not so. Here is the check that's canceled, dated last year. And she says, oh, let me check one more thing. And she come back and says, I'm sorry, I stamped it paid. Now I can re-register my truck come May, which I can't do it anymore. That's going to be sold. I'm working for somebody else because of all the regulation and trucking. I would need a full-time secretary to do all the paperwork. Jody's been plagued with it for 11 years, and it's not worth it anymore.
Seems like they're trying to ruin that whole trucking industry because that's one of the last good-paying jobs. These Mexican truckers that they allow across the border, first stop, Kansas City, Missouri. No checks. They don't need licenses. They don't need insurance.
Well, the other thing with the trucking is we're competing with the rail, which is subsidized by the government, which has been bankrupt for many years.
Yeah.
So how can you operate a business, a legitimate business on them terms, when you're a sole proprietor competing against a government subsidized freight system?
You can't.
You're beating your head against the wall and
So
fooling
what's
yourself.
the answer then, Dan? What's the answer?
I wish I knew.